Hey there, guys, it's Jeffy, and it's Friday Fight Story. I know you've all been waiting patiently for this. Everyone loves them. Might as well get right down to the nitty gritty and talk to you guys about super awesome fight time. This story, it's gonna be a little bit different, you guys. This story really doesn't pertain to me. I was there and I saw this, but it wasn't a personal experience. It was very personal, but it wasn't. I wasn't actually in a fight. So what happened was, if I start to kind of choke up, guys, it's just this is a really emotional one. And listen, this is one of the reasons I'm a huge advocate against fighting. Don't get into fights. Don't start shit at parties. Just try to avoid violence at all costs. Because last year, and this is the reason I hardly fight anymore. The reason I kind of quit drinking, the reason I don't smoke weed anymore, the reason I kind of got out of the whole drug scene. About a year ago, went to a party with Luke and Jack. My cousin Mike was there. Mike was a great guy. He was the nicest person. He was ripped. He was this huge built guy. But he never fought unless attacked. He only fought to defend his friends and family. He never started anything with anyone. He helped out everyone he could. He was pretty much a saint. He was the greatest guy in the world. He was my cousin. I loved him. So what happened was, we were all at this party, and these two guys get into this little brawl in the kitchen. They're beating the crap out of each other, throwing stuff around, breaking tables, throwing each other through the pane glass windows, just really getting into it. So Mike ran up, threw one guy off the other one, got on top of the other guy and said, "Hey, you gotta stop it," and started shaking him. And I was sitting in the corner watching like, oh shit, Mike's getting involved in shit again. Because he always tried to break up fights, and he was always doing dumb shit like that. But he was sitting there trying to break up this fight, trying to hold him apart, telling him to back off. Apparently, one of the guy's friends thought that his friend was getting jumped. My fucking phone, of course it's my phone, every fucking time. God fucking damn it. And that's staying in, I don't even fucking care. But Mike actually thought, one of the guys thought his friend was getting jumped, ran up on Mike, took out a knife and stabbed him in the back. Then everyone freaked out. They tackled the guy off Mike. He got subdued. They called the police. Me, Jack, and Luke got Mike into the car. I was in the back seat. Jack was shooting shotgun. Luke was driving to the hospital. I was sitting there holding Mike, trying to apply pressure with a rag to his back, freaking out. It was a really bad cut. He was having trouble breathing. He was coughing up blood a little bit. He was just sitting there looking really messed up and scared. And I was sitting there starting to cry, holding the rag to his back, telling him, "Dude, don't worry, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna get you to the hospital. You're gonna be okay." And I'm not sure if I was saying it to reassure him or myself, but I was sitting there holding that to his back, feeling him shake and how scared he was. And he was 25. He was a lot bigger than me. He'd always been that cool cousin, the guy who could take anything, the guy who was always there for me, the guy who always helped me out. One of the biggest role models in my life. He'd always tried to do the best he could with what he had. And here he was trying to separate a fight so no one got hurt. And he ended up getting stabbed in the back. We got Mike to the hospital. I stayed with him overnight, and then I finally went home. Family came and saw him. He had been stabbed through the back, went through one of his ribs, punctured a lung, so he was on a breathing tube. He was in the hospital for about 3 days, and he started to slightly make a recovery. He started coming back from it. He had to have surgery for his lung. Surgery went okay, so he was going to stay in the hospital for about another week. Then the stitch got infected. It spread to his lung got infected. He got bronchitis, got very sick. He had to stay in hospital even longer. Not about the third week he was there, he actually died from the infection. There was nothing they could do. He was on all kinds of antibiotics and everything that happened, but for some reason, everything that could have gone wrong with that injury went wrong. And Mike eventually died in the hospital. I wasn't there when it happened. I had just finished talking to him. He was really weak and pale, and he'd lost a little weight. A lot of his muscle definition had gone down. He wasn't he went from being one of the strongest guys I can remember to just looking like someone who had just been in prison. Not in prison, but someone who had no way of moving for over a month and just became nothing, became like a shell of their former selves. It was one of the saddest experiences of my life to watch that happen to him. And I think it was the day, like a day after I saw him, and then later that day, I got the phone call that he had died. And I was 17. All I did was sit on my couch, look at my phone, put the phone down, and I cried for about 2 hours. That's all I could do was just sit there and cry. I mean, this guy was more like a brother than a cousin to me. I loved him. Oh, God. But this is one of the reasons that I see how juvenile and stupid my whole fight history was. I do talk about it now, and I still enjoy talking about it, but it's one of the reasons I stopped. It's the biggest reason I stopped. And that's why I really want to tell you guys, only fight if it's your last option, and try to avoid it at all costs. It's not worth it. Good people get hurt for no reason. And my fucking phone. God damn it. My phone went off again. But, anyway. Avoid fighting at all costs if you can. Always try and resolve things peacefully. Listen, I had a huge childhood of drug abuse and alcoholism. I still drink on occasion, but if you're under 18, you really shouldn't be drinking that heavily. You shouldn't even be drinking at all, really. Drugs, I can't really say much because I had experiences and I used them on occasion. I used them a lot, actually, but I can advocate and say that you shouldn't do them. Can really fuck up your life. I mean, I dropped out of school, got my GED, and I mean, I'm working now, I'm going to college, I'm getting an apartment here pretty soon. My life's doing pretty well. But that's because no matter how many times I got knocked down because of my own stupid choices, I realized they were my stupid choices, and I moved on from them. So, listen guys, alcohol and drugs really aren't worth it. If you do it, remember that it's never too late. Even if you fucked up with drugs or alcohol, it's never too late to get your life in order. And if you are doing it right now, my only advice is that always think about the consequences, because as a kid you always think, oh, it's not a big deal, nothing's happening, nothing's gonna happen to me, I'm a kid. Shit eventually happens. It really does. I thought the exact same thing. I thought that nothing bad could ever happen, and then my cousin, trying to stop a fight at a party, ended up getting stabbed and killed. So, that's really all I wanted to come out and say to you guys. The reason I really thought this was important is because this is the week he died. Anniversary, which is why I kind of got, I've been talking with family, and figured I'd come onto this channel and talk to you guys about it. And it's not really a conventional fight story, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm getting a little emotional here. Please like the video, it means a lot to me. Favorite it, tell people about it. I really want this video to get spread around just because I think it has an important message. But thank you guys for watching. Just watch the last few seconds of gameplay here. I've got to go, guys, but thank you a lot for watching. Peace out.